Ken Mijungu, KTN's journalist, has delivered bad news to Rigathi Gachagua. I want us to listen to Mijungu, for his remarks are worth highlighting in this forum. But before we do that, just as I did promise in our earlier video today, let's remind ourselves of some remarks Salasia shared out today. Honorable Peter Kalerwa Salasia: Morara, pia na wewe umeanza kutubeba matako yako. Ebu jisikize, kumbe umeanza kuwa muongo. Do your research well. CDF board doesn't accept or allow or approve constructions of roads. Kazi ya roads ni kura, Kera and KNHA. I wonder how 40 million can be allocated to road construction and CDF board, which approves all projects under CDF across the country, approves it. In fact, the CDF board can't approve such a project unless public participation was done, but it's not in the purview of CDF, so they can't. Pesa ya CDF isn't that easy as you think, Mr. Murara. We love you but have always fact. Hata ka upendi Rigi, ongea ukweli. You should be telling MPs impeaching Rigathi, pia wa impeach Ruto waende wote, pia wewe naona umeanza ukora. Rigi amekuwa categorical, watu wasikize ground, stop being silly. With all these lies you are going nowhere. Be a good activist at times pia na wewe. That was PK Salasia's post. So he was attacking Morara, that Morara is pushing for the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. So he was telling Morara that he should be saying both Ruto and Rigathi should go home. And that's exactly what Morara has been saying. Morara has been saying both should go home. We know PK Salasia is a Rigathi Gachagua's ally. He's in this Azimio team of Kalonzo, Eugene Wamalwa, and they have shown strong intentions of working with Rigathi Gachagua. And I'm trying to bring up this discussion for Kenyans to understand what's going on behind the scenes and why I'm against this narrative that impeach both. If you listen very keenly to people saying impeach both, chances are very high, a majority, I'm not saying all, but a majority, are Rigathi Gachagua's, Kalonzo's sympathizers. These are people who want the status quo to remain so that Rigathi Gachagua can remain in government. That's why they are saying impeach both, because they know members of parliament cannot impeach Ruto. So if they say impeach both, they just mean the status quo should remain. Nobody should be impeached. Why do I believe that this narrative impeach both is a misplaced narrative? If today William Ruto decides to forgive Rigathi Gachagua, don't expect that Rigathi Gachagua will still be vocal talking against Ruto's government. Rigathi will be very obedient. In fact, he will be Ruto's #1 sycophant, just as he was immediately they took over. So if status quo remains the same today, don't expect Rigathi to criticize Ruto's government. Rigathi will be very obedient and he'll be William Ruto's #1 sycophant. That only means William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua might end up working together. If Rigathi and William Ruto now works together, it will be very hard for Kenyans to kick out Ruto. If Kenyans genuinely don't want Ruto, they should be praying for Rigathi to be impeached. If Rigathi is impeached, he'll even make it easier for Kenyans to force William Ruto out. So if Kenyans are tired of Ruto, they should stop this narrative of impeach both. Both cannot be impeached. Both only means the status quo will remain the same. Ruto and Rigathi will continue working. And if they continue working, you never know. They might make amends and nobody will be able to remove William Samoei Ruto. So if Kenyans are tired of Rigathi and Ruto, it has to be one at a time. You start with the easiest. If the easiest is Rigathi, start with that one, remove that one, and then you go for the main one. Let's now listen to Ken Mijungu. Mijungu is making some wonderful, beautiful remarks. Listen to this.
Well, I wish I could say that I told you so, right? But I will not say that. I didn't tell you. It's come to pass that the motion was tabled, and by the person I guessed will actually table the motion. But I'm here to tell you how things are going to pan out in the next few days, because Parliament, as you have seen, as it has been demonstrated today, is going to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. It's happening next week on Tuesday. They are voting. They are impeaching him. The first deputy president to be impeached will be Rigathi Gachagua. Na itakuwa ikuwe funzo kwa wale wengine wenye wako na ambitions kama za deputy president. But hii ni story inawachapia. So let's now talk about Rigathi's option now that the motion is before Parliament. One, today is Tuesday. I see Rigathi resigning by Friday. Why? He has to protect, he has to self-preserve, he has to protect his ambitions, because he's tested the pie and he knows how sweet it is. So he'd want to be president someday. The only way he's going to be president is if he's still in the game. The only way to remain in the game for Rigathi Gachagua is to resign. But will he? Because Ruto is not going to save him. Will he? Well, let's say he doesn't. Then full process next week on Tuesday, he's impeached. Then on Thursday, Speaker of the Senate, Amason Jeffa Kingi, receives the bill or the motion. And now the process of validating what National Assembly had done begins. They'll even call for public participation in form of memorandums and all that. Senate, take it from me, will impeach Rigathi Gachagua, because that's how it is. So let's say that happens, right? What happens? He will never be eligible to run for any elective position in this country again, to hold a position. So that's why I'm saying that he has to resign. I'm giving him until Friday. He will resign. Then, what happens next? Because if he resigns, have you seen the petition? Inbox me, I'll send you the whole copy. Look at it. There are criminal charges. There are criminal charges against Rigathi Gachagua. He'll be taken to court. If he resigns, they're taking him to court on those criminal allegations. Money laundering, abuse of office, using his office for personal gain, all those things. They are able to take him to court. They'll charge him. And still at the end of the process, what happens to a public officer who has been charged? So they'll take him to court. His only option is resign, but even if he resigns, he'll go to court.
In summary and in a layman's language, Ken Mijungu is saying Rigathi will be impeached and may be arrested. The second thing, chances are also very high he might resign before that impeachment. And Mijungu is also saying his impeachment should be a lesson to other leaders with such characters as Rigathi Gachagua. That's what Ken Mijungu is saying. And I agree 100% with him. Chances are very high Rigathi will be impeached. Upon being impeached, he might be arrested. And he can also resign before Tuesday. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Any person watching us outside Kenya, drop a comment, let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. If possible, subscribe, give the video a like. Let me hear from you on the comment section. Thank you.